CR 3890, Mr. Hirschfeld appears in custody here on an extradition matter. I'll appoint an attorney from the Public Defender's Office. Ms. Usman, have you had enough time to go over Mr. Hirschfeld's options with him today?
I have, Your Honor. Mr. Hirschfeld has elected to demand a governor's warrant and request a bond hearing.
Okay. So Mr. Hirschfeld, the state of New Mexico is advising they have an active warrant for your arrest. I have very little information about your charge in New Mexico, other than what it tells me on the sheet of paper, which is that it's careless driving. It looks like the date of the warrant was pretty recent, August 14th of 2025. It's the Raton Police Department in New Mexico. Given the recent date of warrant, my assumption is that it is a pre-conviction case. Mr. Ryan, do you have any information that would state otherwise?
For some reason, this one didn't pop up on my document. I'm looking it up right now.
It might have just been added on because it's an extradition matter, and that is how
I believe it was added on. I didn't have it on my original docket either.
Just a quick look. I would very likely just agree with the court at that point, given your view of the matter.
Okay. So Mr. Hirschfeld, I'll give Mr. Ryan a little bit more time to see if he finds anything different. The reason why that's important is to whether it's a pre or post conviction matter is because that determines whether I have the discretion to set a bond when you demand a governor's warrant. You have two options today. One is you can demand a governor's warrant from the state of New Mexico. If you choose that option, New Mexico has up to 95 days to return that governor's warrant to Colorado. Once they do, if you are out of custody and have not, that warrant is still active, then you'd be remanded again and held in custody. At that time, you could request a hearing here in Colorado to determine if the warrant is valid. If at that hearing the warrant is found to be valid, then you would be extradited to New Mexico and they would have 15 to 30 days from that future date to come pick you up. If you don't request a hearing, then that timeline starts right then when you're remanded on the governor's warrant, and New Mexico has 15 to 30 days to come and get you. If you demand a governor's warrant and we address bond and I set a bond, which I have the discretion to do, I don't have to, but if I set a bond and you're able to post that bond, the whole point is that you get back to New Mexico as soon as possible and turn yourself in on this warrant. Otherwise, if you don't and the governor's warrant comes back before you get back to New Mexico and turn yourself in, then you just go back into custody on that warrant and you're held without any bond, pending New Mexico picking you up within the time frame. So that's kind of the whole point of demanding a governor's warrant, having a bond set, is that your plan is to get back to New Mexico as soon as possible and turn yourself in on the warrant. Do you have any questions about any of that?
So you're saying that would be, so you're saying if this thing goes through, you're saying upon release, I got to get myself out there immediately.
So Your Honor, I also advised him he could reach out to an attorney and see if they could quash the warrant, which is also, I think, an option.
It's going to be my condition of bond that you return to New Mexico as soon as possible. I'm not going to give you a deadline. If you're planning on working with an attorney to consult with someone to see about getting the warrant quashed, you can do that. My point is that if the governor's warrant comes back before you do that or make accommodations to get it taken care of there, then you're going to go back into custody here. So that's why the whole point is to get back there and take care of this warrant as soon as possible.
So what we're discussing is upon release, if this were to happen immediately or something, I got to get myself out to Mexico, snap fast. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Buckle up, because today we're diving into a courtroom moment that perfectly captures how accountability can spiral into chaos. The host sets the stage with a promise of Karens who can't take responsibility. And then, boom, the real drama begins as the judge calls the case. What starts like any routine hearing quickly sets the tone for something far more tense, unpredictable, and revealing about personal responsibility.
Well, see, here's the thing. I would like to go that they were out there talking about me because I want to say, they always say, watch your words that you speak in court. Well, I want everything to be heard that I'm saying right now. I've been doing this for like 3 or 4 years now. The same routine, being picked up and taken up to Mexico, being picked up, taken out to Mexico, being picked up, taken out to Mexico. I moved away from everyone and everything that I do to go to college in my earlier years, several years ago. When I did that to start a new path in my life, this whole thing came up. And I've been stuck in this, it seems like that's the only way I can explain it, this tornado that I keep going around in, and the same thing keeps happening over and over and over again. One, I'm innocent. Two, this stuff came out of basically nowhere. Three, I don't know how to get myself out of this tornado thing that I keep going through. The same thing keeps happening over and over and over and over again. And I say to myself, I'm doing all that I know how to do. My brain and my body can only do so much. I've been through so much stress in my life. I'm not stupid. I'm very smart.
Here, the courtroom energy shifts as the judge carefully lays out the extradition process, explaining every detail like a ticking clock of consequences. The viewer starts to sense the weight on the defendant's shoulders as the legal jargon unfolds into real pressure. It's calm, but under the surface, there's tension. The judge's tone is firm but patient, setting the foundation for what will soon become a clash between logic, frustration, and self-control.
All right, thank you. Well, I'm just looking at some of Mr. Hirschfeld's criminal history in Colorado. I'm seeing 24 CR 57. That's a case up in Teller County where he's charged with driving under the influence and eluding. And it looks, so I don't know, Miss Eastman, if you've had any time to look at that case.
Your Honor, I have not. This was not on my original docket.
Yeah, so just so you know, so I'm just looking through the history of that, and I think that would be helpful probably for your office to look at as well. But I do see that a governor's warrant was requested for a different extradition matter, and that's the 25 CR 45 case. That was an extradition case that was filed up in Teller County, but it looks like it's the same maybe case going on in New Mexico. A governor's warrant was requested. It was signed and returned, and bond was revoked on that case back in June. So you have been going through this cycle, but it's because this warrant in New Mexico hasn't been taken care of. So I'm concerned that one, Mr. Hirschfeld continues to drive, that there's a DUI case pending now in Colorado. There's a new extradition case. I see 25M1010 up in Teller County as well, which is another DUI case. So I am concerned about community safety. I'm concerned that Mr. Hirschfeld may have some other things going on as I'm looking through the history in those other cases. And I'm concerned that he's not going to get back to New Mexico and take care of this. So given that information, I don't agree that a personal recognizance bond is appropriate. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $2,500 cash, surety, or property in this case. Obviously, if Mr. Hirschfeld is able to post that bond, and I know from your bond argument that it seems like that's not going to be possible, but if something changes, he needs to return to New Mexico as soon as possible and turn himself in on that warrant. I'm going to set this case out about 4 weeks for a review to see what the status is on that governor's warrant. And I'll keep this case here because I think all of his other cases are in Teller that I can see right now. So I'll just keep this one down here. Also, I don't think that, well, we'll just wait to see what happens with the governor's warrant, because since there's 2 other open cases here, I don't know that Colorado is going to release your hold, but we have to wait and see if that governor's warrant comes back anyway. So I'm going to set this for a review in 4 weeks on September 30th, which is a Tuesday. That'll be back in here in Division DST at 1:30.
I was wondering if we could maybe set it 2 weeks out just to see if he can post. If not, he might decide he needs to waive.
Yeah, any objection to that, Mr. Ryan?
That's fine, Your Honor.
All right, so then that will, we actually will not be here on the 16th, so I'll set it to the 23rd.
Okay.
So September 23rd, which is a Tuesday, back in Division DST for a review. Anything else for Mr. Hirschfeld?
Nothing else. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
This is where things take a turn. The defendant, lost in confusion, asks if he needs to snap fast back to New Mexico. Without missing a beat, the judge fires back, "Yes, Snap your ass back to New Mexico. The courtroom breaks its calm facade for a moment of pure disbelief and raw humor. It's tense yet oddly satisfying. Proof that even in the strict world of law, blunt honesty can cut through the noise like a lightning bolt.
Good morning. Are you Trustee Butcher?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is cause numbers 24 DCCR 1732 and 24 DCCR 1733. Ms. Butcher is on probation in each of those cases. One for burglary of a habitation, which was a 5-year deferred, and also an unauthorized use of a vehicle. And there were motions to adjudicate filed in each of those cases. And Ms. Butcher was previously here, pled true to counts 1, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I've received the updated report. This was not agreed. Has everyone received that and reviewed the report?
We have, Your Honor.
Are there any additions or corrections?
No, Your Honor. Not from this.
And what is this, it might say here? The new case is out of Harris County,
She was placed on
probation, right?
probation and sent to the Santa Maria Rehabilitation Facility.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Rojas, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. And that's true, Judge. She was sent to Santa Maria through probation in Harris County. And as the PSI points, or the updated PSI points out, she left that facility. I spoke with her about that. She left that facility because there were open warrants out of Jefferson County. She wanted to take care of those warrants, not because she didn't want the help provided there. She tells me she does want to go back to the Santa Maria facility, and there they will help. She's got a 3-year-old son, in addition to being 6 months pregnant right now. And the facility is a facility that will allow her to bring her 3-year-old with her, as well as she will keep the newborn once that newborn is she's giving birth. And she does want the help that Santa Maria can provide, and she's willing to go back there. And that's where she wants the newborn to be once he's born, or she is born. As far as what she wants to do with her life, she told me she has worked in the healthcare industry in the past, and she wants to go get her CNA licensing, and she wants to continue doing that when she gets out. She does have a letter she wants to read to you, Judge, and I think if this is the appropriate time, she wants to do that.
Okay, go ahead.
Dear Honor, I have been in jail since April 29, 2025. I left the rehab because I wanted to come back here to turn myself in.
Let me just stop you real quick right there.
The energy shifts again. The defendant drops his guard and opens up about his life, moving to a new city, losing everyone he knew, and just wanting to do things right. For a moment, you see not a criminal, but a man worn down by endless cycles and confusion. His vulnerability pulls the audience in, making you question whether this is defiance or just exhaustion. It's a brief human pause in the middle of a cold legal process.
The officer called Santa Maria, and the people at Santa Maria, according to what that officer put in this report, said that you left the facility because you changed your mind. Hang on. Quote, Santa Maria is not the best option for me at this time. Are you saying you did not say
I
that?
did not say that. She know why I left because I had a warrant for my arrest and I didn't want the police to pick me up. I couldn't go to the DPS and get my ID and stuff, so I was going to come back to Port Arthur, turn myself in, and just go from there. But I didn't leave because I didn't want the help. That's why I found out I was pregnant on March 31st. I found out I was pregnant. I was in that rehab. I left because they wanted me to go to get my ID, and I couldn't go there because I had a warrant out for my arrest.
Okay, so you found out you were pregnant in March.
Yeah.
And then you went and committed an evading arrest with a vehicle, a duty on striking an unattended vehicle, and an aggravated assault against a public servant a month later after you found out you were pregnant?
I was on drugs, Your Honor.
While you were pregnant?
Yes, I made the mistake of leaving the rehab and I got on drugs, and the next few days later I got arrested.
But you said you made the mistake of leaving the rehab, but you said you left the rehab to come and turn yourself
Yeah.
in. So you didn't leave hang on. So you didn't leave the rehab to come turn yourself in, because if you had, you would have come straight here and turned yourself in and you wouldn't have these new
I had to
offenses.
catch the bus, so I had to go downtown, wait for the bus to come, and in that time, I caught a charge.
As the judge explains the two options, waiving extradition or demanding a governor's warrant, the stakes become real. Every word carries weight because the choice could decide weeks of freedom or more time behind bars. The commentary from the narrator reveals the cost of resistance. Time wasted, chances lost. This is where law meets reality, and the viewer feels that tight pressure of choices closing in with no easy way out.
Even though my 3-year-old is risking my friend, and I want to be him to be able to come with me. I just want to be able to keep my kids with me and get the help I need mentally and with the judge.
So where do you actually live?
I live on 10th Street,
What city?
Port Arthur.
So Santa Maria is what, 90 days?
It's up to 6 months, 6 months to 18 months.
It was verified through the Harris County Community Supervision Court Liaison that the program is 6 months.
Yeah.
So where did you get the 6 months to 18 months?
They told me at Santa Maria when I was there, it's up to, you can stay up to 18 months.
Mr. Smith?
Judge, I spoke with Misty Hoffman, who was an assistant DA in Harris County before they sent her to the Santa Maria program. They were thinking about doing that, and she tried to explain to me what it was, and I explained to her our intention was not to keep her on probation, it was to seek a revocation in this case. I think everything that she has said up to this point kind of lends credence to the fact that probation is, she's not going to be successful on probation. I think even today you can see that she gets, according to the PSI, becomes impatient, easily irritated, argumentative, and confrontational. She's been non-compliant basically since she started in on probation and has made no progress and has no plan. This is the first that we've heard that she even has a residence in Port Arthur. We had no idea that she had any kind of residence in Jefferson County. She didn't have one prior to this, so I don't
I've
even
been
know
here
whose
the
house
same.
this is.
So here's the thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Talking over people, being confrontational with your probation officer is not going to get you anywhere. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you have, what's the place in Port Arthur that you have to live?
It's a home. It's a house.
Whose house?
It's my house. I've been renting it
Since when?
since before I got on rehab. I've been using the same address.
Well, but
Before I got probation.
you told probation that you didn't come back here, hold on, because you were homeless.
I've never been homeless, ma'am.
You said that in the original pre-sentence
No,
report.
I told her I was at a motel and she assumed I was homeless, but I'm not homeless.
But originally, when I put you on probation,
I gave y'all 1820 17th Street, which is where I live.
if you had a residence here in Jefferson County and you were on probation here in Jefferson County, then why didn't you come back here when you got out like you were supposed to?
I tried to come back, yeah. I did come back. I didn't report because I thought I had a warrant out. I thought I was revoked already.
So you were just going to wait it out until they came and caught you?
Came to turn myself in and I got arrested. I was going to turn myself in.
Everything you're saying is conflicting because you're.
I'm here. I'm here.
Now emotions hit a peak. The defendant erupts, ranting about being trapped in a tornado of legal chaos, repeating arrests, lost chances, and frustration boiling over. His words spill out like a man at the edge. The judge's sarcastic response lands sharply, reminding everyone that responsibility doesn't vanish in self-pity. It's the rawest part of the hearing, showing both sides of human nature, desperation and the harsh truth that reality doesn't bend.
Yeah, you're here in custody and you're just, I think you've told so many lies to everybody that you don't know how to keep up with them.
It's no lie, ma'am. I was in Houston, I came back, and I came back March 7th. I was here. I didn't report. I was on drugs.
So you were already here March 7th.
I was here March 7th. I was here, and then she told me to come in.
So there's no reason on March 7th that you couldn't have, you were talking to her about needed a bus and all this stuff. That was all just lying back then.
No, I was in Harris County. I got here March 6th. She told me to report March 7th.
So if you were here March 7th.
Yes. Y'all know I was on drugs.
Our jail reports to the judge.
Can you please get me the help that I need and let me keep my kids?
I put you on probation in the first place to get the help that you need. I put you on hang on. I put you on probation for 2 felonies with all the resources we have to help you. And instead of taking advantage of those, you came back, you didn't go ask for help, you just had to show up one time and say, I need help, I'm pregnant, I'm using drugs, I need help. It's easy to say you need help when you've picked up 3 more felonies.
I didn't pick them up, they dismissed them, I only got 1. They dismissed the other ones.
Well, I'm sure that was part of some plea agreement. You still got arrested for 3 felonies, serious felonies. Not just little stuff, not a possession case.
Your Honor, please, I do not want to be a felon. I can't complete
Well,
this.
quit committing felonies.
Yes, ma'am, that's because of the drugs in it. I lost a baby last year. I had a stillborn at 7 months pregnant because of drugs. I need help with the drugs and rehabilitation.
Maybe you need to stop getting pregnant for a while.
Yes, ma'am.
Looks like one of the jail incidents also involved an assault of another inmate and an attempted threw a bar of soap and actually hit one of the correctional officers and tried to swing on one of the other correctional officers.
That is okay.
What?
I never tried to assault a correction officer at this time.
No?
Jail, prison time, and no.
Let me take a, So why did you refuse to go to the hospital when you fell?
It's because I was feeling okay and I had a doctor's appointment coming up. I was gonna tell her. The last time I told them I slipped and fell, they didn't do anything in the jail, so I was gonna wait till I go to my doctor's appointment.
But they wanted you to go to the hospital to get checked out.
I didn't know they wanted me to go to the hospital. They just had me sitting in the infirmary.
So you supposedly said you fell, you were refusing to go to the hospital. They told you the doctor wanted you to go to the hospital. You said that you would go, but asked if you could go back to your dorm first. And they said, we're not doing all that back and forth. You asked if you would be transported via van or EMS. They said, don't worry about that. Then you said, I refuse, I'm not going to the hospital.
That's when I talked to Dr. Kim. Dr. Kim told me whatever was wrong, I could tell the doctor when I went to the doctor. So that's what I was waiting on.
So they're making it up that doctor wanted you to go to the hospital.
They wanted me to go, and I told them I was going to wait until...
But that makes me, you're not taking care of yourself and your baby.
My baby is fine.
How do you know? If you fell and hit your head and they wanted you to go get checked out at the hospital, then how do you know she's fine? He's fine. You don't know.
The final stretch delivers the verdict. Lawyers argue over bond while the judge uncovers his tangled history. DUIs, repeat offenses, broken promises. There's no more hiding. The courtroom becomes a mirror of choices unlearned. When the judge sets the $2,500 bond, it's not just punishment. It's closure. The cycle may continue, but accountability lands. And with that, we wrap up today's case. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.
All right, Miss Butcher. Sorry we made you wait so long. I hear that you were a little disappointed in that in the back.
I'm scared. I've never been to prison.
Yeah, well, based on everything that I've already said, based on the fact that you stood here and told different stories about every single thing you said, based on the fact that you've already lost a baby and you're lucky you didn't lose this one, and who knows what's going to happen with this one because you were using drugs, based on the fact that you got felonies while you were on a felony probation, based on the fact that this lady here was trying to help you. You already left the place that you were given an opportunity to go to. Does probation have anything else to add, Ms. Kaur?
Judge, just that I'm really concerned about the non-compliances she's had at the jail.
Same.
I'm really concerned about that.
So here's what I'm going to do, Ms. Butcher, in cause number 24, DCCR 1732. I feel like you've given me no choice but to make sure that your child and children are safe and that the community's safe. I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 1, 4, 5, 6, and 7 freely and voluntarily. Find those counts true. In 24 DCCR 1732, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time, find you guilty of burglary of a habitation. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 10 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. In cause number 24 DCCR 1733, I'm going to find those counts true, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of unauthorized use of a vehicle, sentence you to a term of 2 years in the state jail prison. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I'm going to need that signed. These cases will run concurrently, which means together at the same time.
Why would you separate me from my kids?
You separated yourself from your kid.
This is my first time being in prison.
Let me tell you,
Yeah, I've been
listen,
getting more money.
I got 10 more years I can add. Hold on, you're not going anywhere. Hold on, you're not done.
All right.
I'm handing you the trial court certification. You had chances. I'm handing you the trial court certification that shows this was not an agreement. You do have some rights to appeal. You can talk to Mr. Rojas about that. I'm also handing you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. Firearm is a legal term. You should read the written admonishment I provide you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. You need to sign that and I'll give you a copy of it. If you had showed me that you could behave in our jail, there might have been some other things that I would consider, but
Thank you.
there you go. You can go back with the bailiff.
Thank you so much for separating me from my kids.